My name is Kim Howland. I'm a researcher with the Arctic Research Division here in Winnipeg. My main interests are in invasive species in relation to shipping and climate change. An invasive species is a non-Indigenous species, so something that hasn't previously been found somewhere and wouldn't naturally occur there. It's a term that's reserved for ones that cause damage to the ecosystem, where their numbers tend to explode or get out of control. Right now in the Arctic, we're starting to see a trend in increased shipping, and ships, of course, can bring a whole host of species with them. So my studies revolve around looking at what has the potential to come into the Arctic, and also trying to do surveys to look at what's currently existing. So we have traditional methods that we use, things like benthic trawling. That's a method that allows us to collect things that live on the top of the seafloor, and then we also use something called a Van Veen grab to dig down into the sediment and grab a sample of the species that live in the sediments themselves. And then we also use plankton nets to look at the organisms that live in the water column. Pretty early on when we started this work, it became clear to me that when you're trying to monitor for new things that are coming in, you want to pick those up as soon as possible if you do want to have any sort of intervention or try to adapt. So environmental DNA is something that we've been exploring as a method that could allow for more frequent monitoring and that could be easily done by people in the communities. Environmental DNA is a term that's used for DNA that's found in the environment, so animals can shed cells, or you can actually have DNA that's come out of the cell. You can also have smaller organisms that are picked up when you take a water sample. We did some initial training and had a workshop up there and had several youth who came out to do field work with us for 2 weeks while we were doing our main project, and then they've continued to do collection for us over the past 4 months. I think being out in the environment, you start to ask more questions when you actually see what's going on. And when you look at the data later, you have a different perspective than if you're not up there.